So that Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, right? I should know this. Trailer, the teaser, the first one, came out 7 months ago. Yeah, that was its Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. I was there. I was at that panel. It was super exciting. Palpatine came out. Everybody flipped. It was cool. It was great for a minute, and you can maintain that hype for about a week while you're there. Some much longer, but if Disney thinks, and I think that they do, I really do, that I'm going to pay attention to that film's release and just keep all hyped about it for 7 months and then some, because it's not coming out for another few weeks, I guess. Yeah, if they think I'm going to maintain that hype, they have been spending way too much time spinning around on their own little teacups.
Yay!
So before I get into the meat of all of this, I wanted to tell a little story. Once upon a time, like 2 weeks ago, I went to Fargo to visit some friends. Got off the plane, did the hugs. What's up? Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. It's been forever. For some of them, it had some, not super long. And in the car for a minute, Godson, first thing out of his mouth, "Hey, why aren't you making YouTube videos anymore?" Well, okay. That's a complicated question. I really did actually have to think about that. Like, why is it? And a lot of it, honestly, it comes down to, and it leads into this whole idea of maintaining hype and energy and everything for things, is just that. Like, I was looking at other channels as a model, which you never should do. Like, not compare yourself to others, but try to model yourself after, because I have very limited view into YouTube and to what people watch and what they're creating and that kind of thing. And if I had done that more, I probably would have been like, oh, I don't need to be on all the time. I don't need to be excited all the time. I don't need to have a ton of energy, because that's just unrealistic. For me, it was like, Philip DeFranco and the guy that does Because Science. It's not like a manic energy, although one could argue that Because Science guy might have that a little bit, but it's great, but it's just not me. And so a lot of that was just, I really can't maintain that kind of hype and energy, and it's just not me. It's like I'm tired. I work 40 hours a week. So also on that trip, I was introduced to these Hot Ones videos where the celebrities come in and the guy interviews them while they're going through load of really, really, really hot wings. It's awesome. You should check it out if you haven't. Kristen Bell was on, and she said something while they were talking about kind of the sadistic side to his channel, which it really is in those videos. And she said something that really struck a chord with me. And she said, "There's nothing funny or interesting about perfection." And I'm like, exactly. So, this is going to be me. I get tired. And when it comes to the maintenance of hype about life, about geekness, about any of it, I'm just a little bit, murtaugh about it all. I'm just getting a little too old for that stuff. Expletive deleted. So when she said that, it really felt like I was being given permission to just kind of, come down from that whole game show host nonsense energy, which is just not me. Just allowing myself to keep in that Murtaugh mode. Yeah. So that's what you're in for. And that's why I hadn't been making them, Godson. But, yeah, I'm going to keep doing them now. Low energy. Getting into the meat of this whole thing, this hype maintenance, maintaining the hype for these things that are announced just super far ahead of time. Back in the day, there was nothing to maintain. I don't honestly remember, when we really first heard about a thing. I'm pretty sure it was like you're either looking in the newspaper for what's going to happen that weekend, or you're like literally driving by the mall and you're like, oh, that thing is there. You see it, You're like, we're making a determination, we're going to go. You convince a parent, and you're excited, and you literally carry that into the theater. So there's nothing to maintain there. It's like the thing, it's satisfied, you're done, and then you talk about it. But now, obviously with all of the screens and all of the access to everything, it's just always in your face. And it seems like the expectation is that you keep that ball rolling, the word of mouth, and you're always talking about it. I'm not going to do that. We've already established. This is just not a thing. If talking about, like I said, with, The Rise of Skywalker, that came out, that teaser came out 7 months ago, and then they've been releasing little bits, here and there. There's another one like 3 months later, there's the TV, whatever, just back off. Also, I'm going to scroll through a couple of these here because like The Expanse is another one. And these are TV shows are doing this now as well. And some of these things have so much going into their production that it takes forever for them to, come out with a new season. It just takes a ton of time because they're going into so much. And so like The Expanse, the season 4 teaser, I think that only came out that came out this month. And which is fine. I had to basically put that show out of my brain pretty much completely because I really need to look up how long it's been. It's been over a year because, Sci-Fi had them and they screwed the pooch, and thankfully Amazon picked them up. But it's been people that I know, my nephew and godchildren, have grown, feet and such since the last time The Expanse was on. Not going to keep thinking about it. Yes, I'm wearing the hat. Okay. That's it's a daily reminder and all, but it's not me going in and, rewatching and trying to maintain and keep that up and keep talking about it because I love it so much that I have to just put it out of my brain. I have a barista that I go to. I gave him actually one of these patches that I got from the writer's room from The Expanse back in the day. And I've been avoiding that coffee shop because he's an Expanse fan and he always wants to talk about it when I go in there. And I'm like, bro, I love it, but I can't talk about it because it's taking so long before we can get some more. It's good that they have the books and I'm up to book 8 or something like that, but still, it's just so far ahead of time. And I don't know a better way of managing this other than literally forgetting it exists. Another example would be Westworld. That's another show that just takes forever and a day to produce, even when they're not changing networks like The Expanse did. They're still on HBO and they're still on HBO. But I don't know, should we call it poor planning on their part? Maybe they think that it's cute that they're making us wait the length of forever, for another thing to come out. When was the last time there was a Westworld episode? And when's the first time we're going to see another one? Because I think they released another season 3 trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, it looks like. So it was back in July, and we're not going to see it this year. Nope. And then they start talking about the DC and the Marvel films, and they're like, oh, here's the slate until 2022. Shut up. I am not going to get excited about something that's coming out in 2022 or 2021. 2020, I'll start maybe having a kernel of something in my brain. But dude, come on. There's so much going on in life. Some shows now, with The Expanse coming out in this month. By the time you see this, it'll be this month. It's coming out all at once. And so you binge it and you're done. And honestly, I'm not expecting another season for a year and a half. I know that they're already shooting season 5, but just with trying to get me to... And another example of that is The Boys. So it's another Amazon series. It's an amazing series if you haven't seen it already. You binge through it and then you're waiting forever. And so that time in between, I really would love to hear from everyone, honestly. Engagement is key. It is going to very much help me, keep doing this here on YouTube. You could already go to the website and read the articles I write, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook here and there. Let me know in the comments, how you maintain the hype, if you do, or if you're like me and you just put it out of your brain. It's selective amnesia of things that you love because you're not going to be able to have them. And or if you have another approach, if you just binge 3 series of a show for 2 years, The Expanse, Y'all need to just please already. If you're a fan of The Expanse, be sure to watch the newest season 4 trailer and wait until after you think it's over. And there's a line that actually closes out that trailer that I don't do this. I don't do this. And I was fist pumping. Fist pumping. Yeah. Yeah, I was. Believe it or not. Contrary to my current disposition of being tired. Yeah, and then, hearkening back to, the childhood days and the way that we used to actually do this, approach new things that come out, where you're living your life, you hear about a thing either in the newspaper a week before, or you're driving by a thing. That's the new approach. Just life in between, getting outside, doing more. I mean, if you know my channel, you know my content, you know that, I've been running for the last 5 years, and I love me some finisher medals. They're so beautiful. And it's going to be more of that. I mean, easier said than done here in the Midwest than it is in California, where I was before. The climate is extreme out here. All of the seasons are just a little bit out of control. There's like a month in spring and in fall where it's like, cool, I can do stuff outside. Summer's crazy hot, so it's shortened my runs to 5Ks, and being outside in the winter, last winter, just wasn't a thing. It was like I tried to do one run when it was about 15 degrees out, and I was done in by the ends of my friggin' pinkies. It was like someone poured kerosene on them and lit them on fire. So I made it about 1.2 or 3 miles, and that was it. Done in by the ends of my pinkies. Hopefully, this winter will be a lot more mild, so that we can, get out and I can go run, and other people that do outdoor things can do whatever they do outdoors out here in the Midwest. I don't know what they are. I just run and then go to the store. Things of that nature. Although, now that I've actually said it, I've probably cursed us. Yeah, whoops. Sorry, Midwest. Bye.